Well, welcome to another question time where I answer a question we get asked quite a bit by people as they move into their recovery. And the question today is, why do people from complex trauma struggle so much when their plans change? So having a change of plans can trigger a whole bunch of scary things in them. So I think it has to do with, for many people coming out of complex trauma, when their early childhood was unpredictable. It was one day it was one way, the next day it was another way. There's no way of predicting it. It was very unstable. But what they began to realize is that when things didn't go according to plans, when things happened that weren't predicted, when things happened that were unknown, somebody got hurt, something bad happened. And so what began to happen in the mind of that child is they began to equate predictability with safety, and lack of predictability or change or the unknown as high risk for danger, for something bad happening. And so what can come out of that then is the child's solution to this insecurity inside, this fear of the unknown, this fear of change is I need to have plans. That's my source of security. And so a child to have a sense of security needs to have a connection to a safe, solid, secure person. Then with that person, they can face an insecure world, but feel very safe and secure. But what happens to a child that doesn't have that, because that person's not available to connect to, that person's unpredictable, is now I have to gain my sense of security, not from connection, but from plans. That's the roadmap to my safety. And so now I need to be able to go into every situation and plan or predict what is going to happen. That's the only way that I'm going to stay safe. So what happens if the plans change? All of a sudden, my map for safety is gone. My map that gives me a sense of security is gone. I'm back into the unknown. I'm back into not feeling safe. And so it's trying to get security from plans versus connection. But let me take that further. So as soon as plans change, what happens is I'm in the unknown, and that triggers a fear response, a threat response. That takes you back to childhood where, things didn't go as planned, something bad happens. So now every time something doesn't go as planned, danger, 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 something bad is going to happen. I go out of my ventral vagal safe system to my sympathetic system where I'm on high alert, I'm hypervigilant, there's anxiety, there's a sense of urgency, there's even a sense of irritability that everybody better now do what they're told so that I can get back to feeling secure again. So that trigger, often it can come from what seems like a really small little change of plans, but it triggers danger in an extreme way. So now I'm overreacting in ways that aren't even rational because I'm acting on what has happened in the past, not so much what is happening in the present. My fear system has been triggered. Now let me take this a step farther, because for some people, what happens next is very significant. So they go out of their ventral into their sympathetic vagal state where I'm on high alert, I'm in danger, but then they can quickly go to their dorsal vagal state where they freeze. So what then is going on in their brain is every time I've been in this state as a child where I was in the unknown, I didn't have the tools to handle it. I didn't have the support to handle it. I didn't have the agency to handle it. I was all alone. I couldn't resolve the problems. So it's doomed to failure. So just give up. And so as soon as they feel that threat, this is too much, they go to dorsal-vagal, shut her down. This is too much. I'm going to fail anyways. I can't handle this. I feel overloaded. And they can go to feeling stuck. They can go to feeling no motivation, numb, and I don't want to engage the problem. I don't want to engage with people. I want to run away. I want to avoid. I want to isolate because this is overwhelming. So that's part one. Part two is, so the first thing is you look to plans to provide a sense of security that you never got from connection to safe people. Secondly, you look to plans to be your co-regulator of your emotions. So a child, if they're connected to a secure adult, they can go into situations that are scary and they will feel fear, they will feel anxiety, but they have a co-regulator that comes beside them and says, mirror my nervous system. It's okay. I've got this covered. You're safe with me. And they can regulate their emotions. But what happens if you don't have a co-regulator? You go into a social setting, and if something goes wrong that wasn't according to plan, is like panic, and your emotions become dysregulated. And so what happens for many people as a way to try to regulate their emotions is, I am going into situations, a social setting, I need to plan exactly who I'm going to talk to, what might come up, how I'm going to respond if something comes up. I need to rehearse conversations. I need to have all of that laid out in my mind so that I can go into this and be under control, be regulated, feel in control, because I am emotionally prepared for this situation. And that becomes the basis of regulating their emotions. But what happens when they get to that social setting and it doesn't go according to plan? My co-regulator has disappeared. Now I'm left to my own emotions and I don't have the tools to regulate it, and I don't have a co-regulator to help me. And so you get to the point where you feel overwhelmed. There's one other thing that can be part of why change of plans causes massive reactions. And it really has to do with the shame thing. For people that haven't healed their shame, the shame message basically says, I'm not good enough. I must protect from people seeing the real me. So I need to organize events so that I put my best mask forward so that people see the parts of me I want them to see, where I feel in control, where I am responding to a pre-planned script so that I look good to people and they respect me and like me. But if I go into a situation and the plans change and I'm not prepared for those change of plans, all of a sudden I panic because it might expose what I fear is the real me, that I'm a loser, that I'm stupid, that I don't know how to do anything right. And so change of plans risks my shame being exposed to everybody, which I'm pretty sure will cause everybody to reject me. And so there's a huge panic. So the first thing I want you to see is that these strong reactions that you might have to change of plans today, or that you just are so rigid and wanting lots of plans and detailed plans, it doesn't necessarily mean that you're just a rigid person. What it's pointing to is your nervous system is still reacting in survival mode and it can't stand unpredictability. That's the issue. The unknown creates massive amounts of fear. So don't be beating yourself up that you're some rigid person. Be curious as to why do I need to have such detailed fixed plans? What's going on here deep down from my past that needs to be looked at? Be compassionate and go, yeah, I get why you're acting that way. You had an unpredictable childhood where a lot of hurt happened. I can see why my nervous system is responding this way, but we're safe now. We're going to get through this. We're going to learn from this. So that's why we react the way we do when plans change. I hope that helps. Thank you for being here.